Hi, everybody. This is Tammy from Singles Travel International. And tonight thank you for being my Valentine. It is our travel preview, travel talk. We love Turkey. And I am here tonight with the amazing and expert guide from Turkey. His name is Mert Taner. I've had the privilege of touring with him. He knows the answer to everything. He's been doing this for years and years. And so I'm excited to get started. He's going to present the itinerary for our tour. We're going to Turkey in April and every reason why this makes sense. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Mert. Hi, Mert.
Hi, Tammy. Hi, folks. How are you doing? Happy St. Valentine's from Istanbul. It's always like kind of. We just finished the St. Valentine's in here, but we love people. That's why it's always a big celebration for us. Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mert. You're welcome. So without further ado, we can go ahead and get started.
Of course, what I'm going to do, first of all, greetings from Istanbul, where the temperature is quite cold right now. It's around the 50 Fahrenheit. And sometimes, especially last week, if you get a chance to come to Istanbul, it was snow, like a kind of almost 1.5 feet. So that's a kind of an climate we get, but also in April, it's nice and beautiful. So guys, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna a little bit talk about Turkey briefly, what kind of country it is, and a couple of interesting features, and then why you should travel Turkey, and then I will talk about our itinerary a little bit. Again and again, I'd like to show you the location of country. Turkey is in the southeast of the main continent of Europe. It's in the junction of the three old continents, Southern Africa, Eastern Asia, and the West and Northwest is a whole of Europe. So it's a kind of a natural bridge between the East and West. It's a kind of cultural and ethnical transaction point. Almost 29 different civilizations pass from the lens of modern Turkey in antiquity. But today is also a very important international hub. And as you know, Turkish Airlines is one of the most well-known and very effective airlines company. It probably travels all around the countries in the world it reaches. And today, nowadays, from New York, Newark, Washington, D.C., Houston, Miami, Chicago, San Francisco, LA, Boston, and plus up north, Toronto, Vancouver, and at the year also 2023, from Seattle, we get direct flights to Istanbul as well.
And you know what, Mert? They had a commercial on the Super Bowl yesterday.
I know.
That was awesome.
I watched the Super Bowl. That was amazing game. I like the half-term show. That was amazing. That's interesting. There are lots of fun in American football in Turkey too. So anyway, that's our central location, and that's why it's interesting politically, culturally, and also in terms of transportation. We always are proud about our large history. Turkey is a really crossroad of lots of different civilizations. And you can see the traces of the humans starting from Paleolithic period, Neolithic period, and all Bronze Age. Basically, the people who shaped the Bronze Age, Hittites, they're from Turkey, the people who mentioned in Old Testament a lot. Euphrates and Tigris, again, the important places mentioned in the Genesis, originates from the Turkey. And you can see a lot of interesting spots. First coins of the world were actually used in the lens of modern Turkey by King Croesus of the Lydians. And that's why it's remarkable in terms of history. But also, we're always proud about our rich cultural background with the Judaism and Christianity. This is a place where so many important stories of the Old Testament took place. This is a place where Paul was born in the southern eastern part of modern Turkey and completed all his 3 missionary journeys from Turkey and Greece and back and forth. And Roman Catholics strongly believe that Mother Mary spent her last days in Ephesus and ascended to heaven from there. And Ephesus is such an important biblical city where part of the New Testament just written in that spot as well. But more and more, for us important, Ottoman Empire, one of the 5 largest empire of the world history, always use the lens of modern Turkey as their core center. So when you travel in Turkey, you get a chance to learn about Neolithic people, Bronze Age people, Greco-Roman period, and I forget to mention about Troy, which is the famous story, the epic shaped all the Western civilizations. It took place in the northwestern of modern Turkey as well, and the Ottomans. But when we look at the modern Turkey, it is a quite brand new country. After at the end of the First World War, Turks who were a part of the Ottoman Empire, they proclaimed their independency and proclaimed the new republic in 1923. And since that time, and it was established by our founding father, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the guy which we worship in this country. And it's a big multicultural society. Turkey is not just a country of Turks. We have Greeks, Jews, Russians, Poles, Yugoslavians, Romanians, Armenians, Albanians, and the biggest minority group, Kurds and Arabs, they've been living within the border of country. And it's a very young society. And Turkey is a kind of like our population is almost 84 million people. The largest city is, of course, Istanbul. Today, the nowadays populations, we're talking about almost 20 million. And then Ankara, which is our capital, and then Izmir. These are the 3 major cities. And it's a young country, folks. 65% of country are under 35 years old. I'm age of 50 and I'm accepted as quite senior citizen in Turkey. So it's kind of like a young and energetic country. And since 1934, women in Turkey, they are probably first woman in Europe who got right to vote and to be elected in both local and general elections. And they get a right to vote or they get a right to be elected as well. And all those women are quite important in a modern Turkey. For example, the lady in the upper left, she is the head of the largest conglomerates, more than 250,000 workers, and this lady controlling over 50 billion US dollars. The lady in the lower left, she's a well-known novel writer, international writer, Elif Shafak. And the covered lady in the lower part, she is the wife of the president of country. So you can see we get all type of women, and women are quite strong in business and in politics and in economy. We are the 19th, the largest economy in the world. And guys, Turkish economy fluctuates a lot because it's still a developing economy, but size-wise we are big. We get 3 major industries. Number 1 is the textile. We're the 2nd major textile producers in the world. Number 2 is the car production. We're a major car supplier of all Europe. And number 3 are the constructions. Now the weapon industry is developing, medical and is getting better, and banking, we're also, technological parts is getting better as well in that part. And also, we're one of the largest and the strongest military forces in the world. And it's the country still, we have a compulsory military service. For example, me, myself, after completing my undergrad degree, I did my military service in Afghanistan as a Marine officer in the Kandahar city. So Turks are active in all around the world and overseas operations as well. And since 1952, we're the members of NATO. So guys, generally, I always say is why people should travel in Turkey. There are so many reasons for that. But one of the important reasons, this is a place, if you are a history buff, you get a lot of to see and a lot of to learn, because every inches of this country, they decorated with so many archaeological sites, so many Bronze Age locations, and so many Ottoman and the Turkic edifices. Can you imagine that the total number of just Greco-Roman cities in Turkey, 634, is more than total number of all the Greco-Roman cities in Greece, plus in Italy, plus in Spain, plus in France. So we have 184 ancient theaters just in the western part of Turkey. It's so rich if you have a little bit like an interest to the history and ancient architecture as well. But then one of the interesting things where people enjoy while they were traveling in Turkey, and they always say that, wow, people are amazing. They don't care about the language obstacles. Even they speak like a few words in English, they like to cuddle you, they like to teach you. I know these are the COVID periods right now. We are a little bit more keeping the social distancing, but in a typical day in Turkey, Turks are very touchy-feeling. As long as they met with you, they shake your hand, they cuddle you, and they always try to make you comfortable. That's the part of our tradition as well, too. And you can see we can see the 3 generations, because part of the Turkish life, we have extended families where the parents, grandparents, grandkids, they love to live together, they love to mingle together, and they love to welcome the foreigners into them as well. And especially me and Tammy, we get the same approach in traveling. When we do things, do like locals, like when you travel in Rome, do as Romans. And when in our previous tours, which we did together, I let them act like locals. We went to Turkish coffee house, enjoy the Turkish coffee. I don't smoke, but I let them and try at least what is a real hookah experience. Took them to the local markets and alleys where you can see the nooks and crannies of the traditional craft people and discover all this kind of things. And of course, one of the reasons why people travel to Turkey is a shopping haven. And you can find lots of things that really attract you as an Oriental items. And we have some important places like Grand Bazaar, spice markets. They really, really attract people. But 99% of my tour members who visit Turkey, they always say that we didn't know how the food was so good. It's the one thing, like always. I was actually a couple of weeks ago in a Monday night travel show with the Rick Steves, and Rick mentioned that, wow, if you go to Turkey, you'll be gastronomically satisfied, which is a true fact. This is the country of kebabs. This is the country of casseroles. I'd like to show you a couple of things that you can taste while you travel with me and Tammy in Turkey. For example, eggplants. We're really, really obsessive about eggplant. We love it. We love to use it in every part of our main courses. We're as good as Greeks about the seafoods. We do the octopus and treat it in so many different ways as well. But our lamb shank is invincible. It's amazing. This is probably the best lamb shank you can ever taste. And kebab-wise, nobody can compete with us. We almost can generate 230 different type of kebabs as a capital. And have you ever tasted octopus carpaccio? This is how we make it. And that's our most famous Turkish delights, lokums, which are very, very famous. And you can see, or one of my favorite dessert actually is called kunafe. It's a 2 layers of shredded wheat with a beautiful cheese inside. That's what we love to eat. It is a really yummy food. I just want to know what's going on with let you know what's going on with the COVID. There's a beautiful map actually. And all the blue zone districts of Turkey are the places where 80% or more people get vaccinated. And the yellow zones are 65 till 80. And then the yellow and orange ones are less ratio. Or travel trip, we always stay in our itinerary, which I designed with Tammy. We travel through all the blue zones. So that's one important advantage for us. And also I would like to share some numbers. Almost 85% of the people, or now is 18 years old, they get 2 completed dosage of vaccine, and approximately 26 million people, they got their 3rd dosage of vaccine, and this number is increasing rapidly. So guys, any itinerary which we make with the Tammy, we had a lot of it. We approximately wrote each other a couple of 100 emails, and we tried to make the best offer for you. And this is the itinerary we designed together, where 3 nights in Istanbul, 2 nights in Cappadocia, 1 night in Konya, the city of the whirling dervishes, and the 1 night in Pamukkale, 3 nights in Bodrum, and 2 nights in Kuşadası. So guys, Istanbul is a city where almost 20 million people live. It's the only city in the world where you can see one side is Europe, one side is Asia. When you walk around the European seaside, you can easily say that, hey folks, this is the end of the Europe, and the other side is Asia. So it's like literally at 2 continents. And over there, it was a capital of the Roman Empire. It was a capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. It was a capital of the Ottoman Empire for almost 1,500 years. That's why, like, it's such an important place. It's kind of like a lot to see, a lot to experience. And one of the places which I love to take people a lot to understand the Ottoman history is the Topkapi Palace. This is a place where Ottoman sultans control the world, really, because between the 16th, 17th century, Ottomans were the superpower of the Europe and the Asia. So this is the headquarters of that great empire. And when you walk around the different part of the palace, you feel yourself how the art, handicraft became the part of their daily life and decorated this beautiful, magnificent place. And while you are traveling in the different sections, you will see the harem where concubines live. You can see the private chambers of the Sultan himself. You can see the kitchens. You can see the administrative buildings, and you will see the world's 5th biggest diamond, the spoonmaker's diamond, or the Topkapi dagger, and see all this beautiful and interesting images as well. And of course, one of the parts which attracted people is the harem section. Well, it's such a beautiful spot where you learn about not the myths, but the realities of this important institution. And look at that, how everywhere is beautifully decorated with the tiles or some beautiful carpets. And I'm sure you guys heard that before, that cats are very important animals for the Istanbul city. Everybody loves and feed the cats, and guess Istanbul is the place where Topkapi Palace, we have more than 100 cats living, and the local guards, they feed them and take care of them. But if you ask me, Mert, which is the most important highlight of Istanbul, is definitely HAGIA Sophia. This building was constructed in the 6th century AD, and this amazing dome had been standing in the last 1,500 years. So for almost 1,000 years, that was the biggest church of whole Christendom. And St. Peter in Rome, St. Paul in London, and Duomo in Florence, basically, they all got built approximately 1,100 years after Hagia Sophia, but still, it's very difficult to compete with that structure because this building is the prototype and basically the guideline of all modern Christian and the Islamic architecture, and still the 4th highest and the largest dome of the world have been standing in the last 1,500 years. So basically, when we go over there, we just don't do like a kind of 20, 25 minutes cruise tour visit. We spend a full 1 hour guided tour, and I always love to give my people at least half an hour free time where they can walk around, take all the pictures, and try to discover everywhere is full of details. Every column, they got their own history. Every mosaic you can see, they are touching the different part of Christianity. And you can see a lot of Islamic elements. And now you can see a lot of people praying inside, the Muslim or as a Christian. That's one of the interesting things. And also, Hagia Sophia hosts a lot of cats. It's the house of 14 cats, where it's quite interesting. The local guards, they take care of them. They look after those beautiful animals of Hagia Sophia, which you can see some really breathtaking mosaics. This mosaic of Jesus Christ, which is called as Pantocrator, the Almighty, according to all art historians in the world, accepted as most realistic depiction of Jesus Christ. And of course, Blue Mosque is another attraction point right in the heart of Istanbul. And it's a place where we get a lot of beautiful tiles, like in Topkapı Palace. And it's well decorated. When we visit the mosque, ladies, we have to be a little bit modest and we have to carry our scarves or we cover our heads to adopt the rules. But also we visit some other big imperial mosque around Istanbul and we talk about Islam religion. And of course, we will definitely visit the Süleymaniye Mosque and the Spice Market in Istanbul as well. But the one thing we definitely do is I always reserve a good 2 hours on Bosphorus. Bosphorus is a natural water strait which connects the Black Sea through the Mediterranean Sea, part of the Mediterranean Sea called Sea Marmara. So this is a place every day, almost 160 international freight ships, cargo ships, back and forth, they cross the Bosphorus. This is vital water source for Russia, Ukraine, Black Sea, and Moldova, Romania, Bulgaria. And it's politically very important, and Turkey controls this place. And you can see that all the beautiful buildings and sites while we are sailing around the Bosphorus. Amazing water mansions, beautiful houses. It's a really big attraction point. And of course, when we do the Istanbul, we always, apart from our one welcome dinner, I always suggest people, hey guys, let's go and enjoy like a real Istanbulites. I always take them through the best restaurants, best affordable restaurants with a view of Bosphorus. I'll let them give a little bit of experience of the Istanbul nights as well. This is one of my single travel international group, like we're having a party in one of the rooftop bars of Istanbul. But if you want to touch not only the history, but if you want to touch your senses, your aromas, your tongue, your nose, tasting and smelling, Spice Market is having a good place where you can enjoy with the top quality of premium quality of saffron, the Turkish delights, and through the a kind of different kind of the herbs, figs, apricots, raisins. And one interesting thing, we give you a special food tasting experience. Can you see the gentleman over there? This gentleman, he works, he has a beautiful place. He let us train us about the spices, but also he's a good friend of Jamie Oliver, Gordon Ramsay. Jamie Oliver, for all his Italy stores, he gets his spice from his place. That's quite interesting. So we get a privilege to know the person who was in a TV show with Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver, and Rick Steves. That's why, again, we give you kind of super local experiences. And he gives a couple of great tips about how to make the best barbecue in your home as well. You can see all this nice delicacies, and herbal teas are amazing. But of course, while you're in Istanbul, one of the must place to see is the Grand Bazaar. Guys, it's larger than approximately like an 8 soccer field, well, approximately 10 soccer field size, 64 streets, 24 entrance gates, almost 4,500 shops. This is the oldest shopping mall in the world, much larger than Mall of America or Ala Moana shopping mall in Honolulu. It's a really, really a great, and on the single street, beautiful flat market where you can see lots of beautiful oriental products, great fabrics, great pashminas, amazing handmade jewelries. So that's the kind of place. I give a guided tour always. I introduce you important merchants, and I always give like a free time. And I'll, of course, before getting in the Grand Bazaar, I'll organize haggle 101 lessons, how to haggle in a Grand Bazaar. And after completing and traveling in the different parts of Istanbul, with like immersing the culture and history, and guys, we don't drive to Cappadocia, the central part of Turkey, because if you want to drive, it's almost 14 hours. And so what we do, we use a great advantage of the Turkish Airlines or the Pegasus Airlines, two strong airlines, and we fly directly to Cappadocia. And that's why we save a lot of time and we see a lot of beautiful places in advance, and we have a comfortable environment over there. So Cappadocia, I can talk hours and hours about this beautiful place. It's a geographical wonderland. Basically, 1 million years ago, 3 big volcanoes, they created this amazing area. In part of the Cappadocia looks like the Hoodies in New Mexico. Part of them looks like the Grand Canyon, like in the Utah part. But we have some interesting Cape pillars where ashes were shaped by winds, rains, sharp temperature change, and also underground rivers. They shaped the structure and created amazing underground cities. And the climate is so interesting. And because of the beautiful thermics in this dry weather, this is one of the best places to experience the hot air ballooning as well. And we visit all these interesting valleys. We do easy walks. We visit the rock cut church where you can see the beautiful frescoes coming from 12th century ADs over there. And of course, while we walk around the valleys, we get really stunning view spots where you can see all those Cape pillars, valleys, and some like a kind of juxtaposition of the tabletops. But one of the interesting things, we really want you to mingle with the locals. And what we designed with Tammy, we visit the one local home and we sit with them. We just basically eat their lunch, share the lunch together, but there are no tables. It's typically a Turkish village environment. You sit on the top of the carpets or you sit in a traditional divan style seats, and then, wow, whatever they cook, we share together. But I organize it a little bit chat sessions, and I want you to ask whatever you're curious about their lifestyle, and we organize this talk, and you learn about what they think about Americans, what they think about the life, what's their expectations, how was the life 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So you learn a lot about their daily life. Look at those beautiful presentations, like especially the rock cut church and the local comfort food in Cappadocia. Oh, it's so yummy. And one of the interesting places in Cappadocia to visit is the underground cities. So even you may be a claustrophobic, but the tunnels are wide enough to let you walk around, and you basically go 200 feet underground and see all the different layers, how people build their church, build their granaries, build their storage, wine cellars, and their living rooms, and even their water closets. And how, they never live there permanently. But when they get attacked by Roman persecutors, these are the best place to hide. Or when the Persians came from the east, this is the nicer place. Or if there's too much snow, almost like a 6-7 feet of snow, like a little Midwest style, this is where they spend at least a couple of weeks and protect themselves from the cold weather. Temperatures always fixed, like 65 Fahrenheit. This is a nice, comfortable area. And also we visit the artisans, learn the traditions of pottery making and dyeing. This is like a kind of one of the oldest arts exists in Turkey. And after that, we drive basically 3 hours to beautiful city of Konya. This is the city of whirling dervishes. We'll learn about their culture, but what we do, this is something unique. None of the tour operators do that, only me and Tammy, we organize that. We introduce you a real whirling dervish. He doesn't perform because dancers are the professional dancers performance, but you can talk with him directly. He speaks excellent English. He is a historian as well, and he do local guiding. So he basically guide us in a tomb of Rumi, but also he gives you all the depth information about the philosophy of the whirling dervishes, which is quite interesting because many people know that whirling dervishes is a Muslim act. No, it's a philosophical group, and any Christian, any Jewish, or any God believer can be whirling dervish because the whole concept is love of God. That's why, as Rumi said, come wherever you are. Just come as you are. Even you break your promises 100,000 times. This is not a portal of despair. Just come as you are. God always welcomes you. You feel this on your veins, especially my friend gives you that feeling. That's why we stop in this place. Plus, food-wise, their local kebabs are so yummy, especially this is the best place to get the real lamb shank in Turkey.
Yummy.
And after that, next day, this is the longest drive we have. Generally, we don't have drives more than 2.5 hours. So we limited the bus drive. This is the one thing we discuss and like work with Tammy a lot. But here's the one place in order to, because we wanted to show you the Konya, give that experience. And then in order to go to Hierapolis, we get a little bit like a bus hours, like a run and 6.5, 7 hours bus drive, including lunch break. But over there, we have a great hotel where they have their own traditional thermal pools. And we visit this Pamukkale. So Pamukkale and Hierapolis is about geographical wonderland, and it's an archaeological site where Apostle Philip, he became martyr in here. And what you see basically is we had 16 hot springs where the water contains calcium bicarbonate. And the one hot water, which is approximately 100 Fahrenheit hot, when it comes out of the spring, it makes a chemical reaction with the oxygen. So it creates carbon monoxide. So what happened? The calcium is left as deposits. It's geologically quite new. It's only 20,000 years, but you can see the beautiful position of all the terrace pools, travertines, that what we call, and some stalactites, stalagmites, and the water is nice and lukewarm. You can wander around, but if you want to go to ancient pools, which you get a chance to swim over there, water is nice and hot, but also we get a pool, which is part of our program included, and you can swim at nighttime alone with just looking at the sky, the stars, and the beautiful environment of the Pamukkale as well. So this is the ancient pools where Cleopatra and Mark Antony swam and get their treatment. And you get a chance to sit on this pool, relax and chill out as well, which that's one thing I offer my tour members. After staying one night in Pamukkale, we had a 2.5 hours beautiful drive to Aphrodisias. That's a really unique place. Sorry, 1.5 hours drive to Aphrodisias, where you see probably one of the most privileged city of the ancient Romans, because this is a city of Aphrodite, which is the major goddess of all the Roman emperors. And in this city, you see the largest stadium of the ancient world and most well preserved. And you're seeing in the picture, this is bigger than Olympia in Greece. This is much well preserved than Circus Maximus in Rome. And when my tour members walk in here, they say that, what, Mert, this is a real place. This is not a movie screen. This is exactly the real ancient stadium. And sometimes with my tour members, we organize running competitions. And like 20 years ago with my British group, we had a rugby game in that stadium. Can you imagine that? So you can do whatever you want in here. It's a really like an imperial cult city. You see lots of huge, well-designed Roman structures right in this place. And after another an hour and a half, 2 hours drive, you arrive to Bodrum, which is the centrope of Turkey. Bodrum is a beautiful peninsula, which used to be ancient Halicarnassus, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. Mausoleum of Halicarnassus was over there. And after the next day, when I take you to the tour in a downtown, the city orientation tour, we visit the ruins of the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. But of course, the major attraction over there, we get two important experiences. One is the St. Peter Castle. It's a beautiful Crusader castle, and all materials, it was built nearby the water, and all the materials were coming from the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. So they never wasted to hold this one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. They recycled and created this castle in the 14th century. By the way, can you see the clearness of water? In your free time, you can walk around the city, you can walk in the water. In late April, the weather could be cold, but if you're brave enough, not for me, not for Tammy, because Tammy, she's from California, from Florida, but if you guys from Midwest or North Pacific, you can easily swim in this water in your late afternoon free time as well. But in this castle, we have the world's most famous underwater archaeological museum, which was established by American archaeologists from Texas A&M University. Yeah, you can see that definitely we get some Texan influences. As an underwater archaeologist, they created this amazing museum, and we talk and learn a lot about the shipwrecks, the ancient shipwrecks and amphoras over there. But the streets of Bodrum, I'll give the orientation. And this is a place I always lose my North American tour members because it's so charming. They get an experience from Grand Bazaar, they get an experience from Spice Market, and then you guys are free. You can find probably the world's most beautiful tchotchkes as a gift to your friends, as a nice decoration items for your houses as well. And you can see, for example, look at my beautiful pillowcases, like with the cut patterns and everything. I get them, I'll show you where you can get those beautiful patterns as well. These are all from like those territories. And anyway, so next day, we have one of the nicest local experience. We visit a really genuine village where roughly 500 people live, and those people, they make their incomes from viniculture and carpet weaving. And we visit and sit in their coffee house first, and then one of the young men of the village who speaks English join us and talk about their life. And this is a place where I force you guys to the Q&A session, and you can mingle and you learn a lot about their life. And after that, we visit the house of the one elder lady who still weaves the carpets. And we learn all the techniques. What is double knitting? What is single knitting? What's the word pile? And all those beautiful pieces, like you can see in my home right now. Can you see all my beautiful carpets? I get them from that village, actually. And so you get a chance to learn. They're not like a commercial place. This is the place where the people, she got a really cute smile. You're right, Tammy, about that. But this is one place, you know what we do? We not only learn about making those beautiful carpets, but like you get a chance to also learn about some local comfort foods. They give you a lesson. So it's a cooking lesson or handicraft lesson, and then you taste their local wines, and also you get a free time. If you want to decorate your house with one of those beautiful pieces, you can directly make an agreement with the locals. And look at this beautiful arts. This is art we're still proud. My grandmother was a weaver. So like a kind of. And after that, we move through the Northwest with a beautiful like a drive. During those drives, we visited Didima ancient temple of Apollo, and then we visit Miletus ancient city, and then the next day we visit probably the most important place in whole Turkey as an archaeological site, probably still one of the most important biblical sites in the world, Ephesus. The fourth most crowded Roman city, but the best taxpayer city of entire Roman Empire, the richest city of the ancient world, where part of the Bible is written in here. That there are letters to Ephesus. There's also letters of Paul to Ephesus. This is the place where all Acts chapter 19 is dedicated. And you can see a lot of active ruins, libraries, theaters, shops. Even you can see the Costco of Ephesus. And good news, you don't need to bring your membership card, which is the Agora of Ephesus as well. And it gives you the spirit of a typical Roman life. And we do a lot of lectures, talks over there as well. And it's easy to walk. Can you see I'm over there, and there's a lady with a kind of like the red jacket. She's 94 years old, and she walked all around the Ephesus. It's an easy downhill walk. So this tour, we get a lot of walkings, especially in Istanbul, but it's physically suitable for anyone who can easily walk 2 miles. So that's why, again, it's not a very difficult walk to do. And of course, we're going to do some, again, lots of wine tastings because Aegean part of Turkey is a wine capital. But we get one important thing to do over there. And what's that? Our hotel is famous with a spa. And I'm partially living in the Kuşadası because of my cruise works, half in Istanbul, half in Kuşadası. And I'm a member of this place as well. Their Turkish bath is unique. You feel those great treatments of exfoliation of all your skin. Your baby bump skin comes up, and then you get a nice treatment and a nice massage. This is the one thing. With our previous experiences, Tammy also experienced. We get a great fun in here, and I'm sure you guys, if you join, you will enjoy as well. So that's a tour we offer, and we do a lot of interesting things. You guys have any questions? Please give me a hard time. I'd love to answer all those questions as well. And Sherife, by the way, cheers.
Sherife. Sherife, that just came to me. What does that mean, Mert?
Cheers.
All right. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming. If anybody has questions, we offered that up, but Mert had so much information. So please ask away.
I just wanted to say I was blessed to be able to go to Turkey years ago, and I was very impressed. And you're right, the people are very friendly. It was Ramadan when we were there, and the gentleman I was traveling with, he got invited to go to dinner, but I had to stay home because I was a woman. Yeah.
Ladies are welcome as well. Maybe that was something inside the mosque. I'm not sure about.
Could have been. It could have been.
But
talking about how nice the people are, it was just a gentleman that we went to his store and bought some snacks. And he invited them to come to Ramadan to eat dinner. And I thought that was wonderful. That is so friendly. So
it was kind of like an interesting experience. I was with my bunch of friends from Honolulu, and we were walking on the Istiklal Avenue, which is probably the most busy. It's like a Fifth Avenue of Turkey. And while we were wandering over there during the Ramadan, people create a beautiful picnic seats, and they were sitting on the floor, and they were waiting to give call to prayer to break their fasting. And they invited us as a woman, man, and we get some kids as well. We sit them together and we broke our fists together. That was a good experience.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, Mert, I just want to say hi. It's Patricia from
Hi,
about
Pat. Yeah,
5 years ago. Yeah,
hello. How are you?
I'm fine. All's well, but not traveling. So gotta wait. Can't wait to get back to it.
Definitely. It's so nice to see you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Awesome. Well, guys, I'm going to, tell you that we have 4 spaces on this tour and only 4, and it's going to be leaving in April 18th. We have the expert Mert as our guide. As you heard from him tonight, they're more vaccinated than we are. So I don't know. Let me ask you guys just a question. Does anybody have hesitation about traveling right now to Turkey? I'm curious.
I have a cruise already scheduled for April, and it's out of London. And I don't know. I know I'm going to have to take a test a gazillion times, and it's kind of scary. So
Okay.
we'll see.
All right. Well, just some feedback here. Thank you for that. Everywhere is requiring tests right now, whether we're headed to Polynesia, which is this week we're heading, and the requirements to get in have gotten easier for us now that we've all spent a small fortune on scheduling tests. But we are seeing lots of changes, and it seems to be getting better. But no matter what, we are doing the best to keep everybody up to date on what is required. So we get that not everybody's ready for it, and want to offer that up. We're welcome to help if you are ready to go and travel the world. But I mean, for me, I'm looking at Turkey and I'm saying it's safer to be in Turkey than Florida right now. So gosh, anyway, Mert, I mean, we look forward to this tour with you. Thanks for that feedback. Anybody else want to share where you're at with your thoughts on going to Turkey? I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm curious about if people have a hesitation. We'd love to know what that is so we can help understand and maybe explain why you should still go.
Excuse me, for me, it's not a hesitation, it's a timing thing. But I wanted to see Mert's presentation because the next time STI goes to Turkey, I'll seriously consider it. But between traveling in February and traveling in May, early June, doing another trip in April, I would no longer have a job.
Okay, well, I still have time to twist Mark's arm in Tahiti because he'll be with me. So, wow, great. Well, thanks. And Molly, thanks for joining. And Michael, it's been a while since I've seen you. Mike was with me in Indonesia a couple of years ago for the President's Club trip. Molly, welcome. It's your first time. I love your leopard. And we appreciate everybody coming here tonight on Valentine's. I know it's a pretty busy day for a lot of people, but we look forward to seeing you again. There are a ton of travel previews, guys, and a lot of live tours. I just haven't had time to load them. So I think in the next 2 days, you'll see lots of fun things coming up. And if anybody else have any more questions for Mert?
No, great presentation. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy historical stuff. So you definitely see it in Turkey, I tell you.
Definitely. So guys, thank you, Tammy, for giving the opportunity. So nice to see you, Pat.
Yeah.
And so nice to see you, Mark, as well. Like I remember Mark from the previous presentations as well. And hope to see you in Turkey, in Istanbul.
All right, guys. All right.
So, Tammy, I'll see you at the bar by the gate.
I'm going to see you at the bar in LA. Mark's coming with us on the Paul Gauguin. Mert was on it, so he was telling me how amazing it is. So see you soon, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye. Tammy, give me a call.